This is Anna, one of the fastest growing towns in Texas and the home of state champions.
Anna has arrived. The Coyotes win their first ever state football championship.
One relatively new resident is Ronald Bell Jr., a receiver who moved to Anna in 2023, determined to succeed despite his lack of size.
Ronald Bell is there. He made the catch. Touchdown, Coyotes!
I was always undersized. Everybody always counted me out, said, you're not gonna be 6'5", you might not be the fastest, everybody gonna overlook you. But that just gave me fuel. It's just like, bro, you could do it.
I thought he was too little, but he's beating people.
Passes it to Ronald Bell, and he's throwing up the deuces.
His sprint yardage in practice, that's what made me fall in love with him, was as high as anybody that we've ever had.
Bell stretching out for it. He's got it, and he's gone!
I knew Ronald was for real once we started getting some measurements and started seeing him. When you can count on him and come down with a big play, usually a quarterback is going to look his way.
A lot of people underestimate him because he's little, but it don't matter if you got a big heart and you got a big love for the game of football. You know, it don't matter what size you are. You know, a lot of people say you're too small to play receiver. No, you're not. If you can catch the ball and you can run and you know what you're doing, you can play receiver just as good as anyone else.
While his teammates celebrated on the turf at AT&T Stadium last December, Ronald was forced to watch from the sidelines due to a season-ending injury. It was another challenge for a kid who has endured more of them than anyone should.
Played a big mental thing on me. I was kind of down all the time, but then realizing that my team was still going and we was winning and potentially could win the whole thing, and we did, that just kept me up and just kept me excited.
They call it a state championship game, but it's really a state championship season, and we wouldn't have won those games without him, so I know he felt a part of it. I see a lot of people take nosedives, but I guess because of all the tragedy that he's faced, you know, you never want to go through that, but it's made him tougher and been able to handle some of the things that's come his way.
Being tough really come from like the neighborhood I lived in. All the kids, we always used to be outside, like middle of the street, playing football. So that's where my toughness kind of came from. I grew up in Algiers, Louisiana. I grew up in South Lawn and Lawrence Street. It's kind of together.
It was a tough street. Like, you go outside, you gotta know how to put your setup, because those kids didn't play. Like, my son had to know how to fight to be outside and play.
Crime rate was high.
It's another violent night in New Orleans after a deadly triple shooting in Algiers.
2 people were shot and killed.
Deaths around the corner.
6 people in New Orleans have been shot and killed.
And 4 of those murders occurred in Algiers.
I'm on the West Bank in Algiers. 2 people have been shot.
People getting shot on the next street.
2 shootings in Algiers.
Police are also investigating a murder in Algiers.
Every day.
I actually wound up moving from New Orleans because my house got shot at. My son heard something and he looked out the window and they were shooting. And my son, who looked out the window, got shot in his neck. So that what made me move to Arkansas, protecting my family.
Ronald's older brother, Tremonti Brule, recovered from the gunshot wound he suffered in New Orleans and continued to be a light for a family that needed it in a new city, Little Rock, Arkansas.
My son liked to fish, he liked to rap. He gonna sing and rap all day. If he see an old lady crossing the street, he gonna help her. If you need your bags carried inside, he gonna do it. He that type of person, but he don't bother nobody.
I was real close to my brother. We had the best bond. Like, if I call him right now, I could have been here, he could have been in Louisiana. Tell him something's going on, he'll be here tomorrow. Like, it was like, our relationship was unbreakable. My brother never stood down. Always the one like, bro, you could do that, he doing that, you could do that too. It just made me want to do everything I'm doing.
But the violence that Ronald and his family tried to escape found them again in the early morning hours of October 9th, 2022.
My son don't never go out. his friends, his rappers, and they had their first concert, and he was supporting, and then it was downtown in Little Rock. They say when they came out the club, they just started shooting. And my son was the one to get hit. So I got a knock on the door, 7:08 the next morning. "Are you Tremonti Brewer's mother?" And I'm like, "Yes, sir. I just came to inform you that you're a homicide. Your son has been killed." And I just lost it.
I remember getting a phone call at my grandma's house. I walk in the door. As soon as I walk in the door, Mom called me, screaming. Everybody screaming, my sister screaming, everybody screaming. All I heard her say was, "They killed Tremonti." And I dropped to my knees, and I just balled up on the ground and started crying.
I still don't know who shot my son to this day. Arkansas dropped the ball. They cold cased my son. They didn't even try. So I was like, you know what? I need to get my other kids to safety.
She knew that Ronald wanted to play football, so she's looking for houses and just casting a net. And then she said she prayed, and his house that's probably 3 or 4 minutes away comes up on her screen, and then they chose Anna. Just a miracle that he was brought here to us off of the tragedy and based off of all the places that you could have gone to in America, that Anna, Texas was this place.
Changed how I view everything. Living in Louisiana, I took in everything I seen. So me seeing people wanting to do bad stuff, not on the right path. Moving here, seeing everybody on the right path, everybody playing football, people wanting to go to school and do their work, people wanting to go to practice. That just changed the view of like everything.
And Ronald Bell.
Being here has gave me peace to where I can make peace with everything and see my son participating in his activities and being there for him. And I moved here for my son. And I moved here not even thinking that it was gonna be this peaceful. We have never had this much peace.
While Ronald and his family have finally found peace, they haven't forgotten Tremonti, and they never will.
Getting number 13 was a big part of my brother too. His birthday is May 13th. So I got number 13 memorizing my brother, but people call him Trey. So I changed my number to number 3, memorizing my brother. All my tattoos got something to do with my brother. I didn't get tattoos until my brother passed away. So my brother eyeball is on my arm, Trey is on my arm, and on my leg, he always told me the world was mine. So I have the world is yours on my leg, and I have bet on me. And he always told me he'll bet the house on me, so everything symbolizes my brother.
He's a pretty strong kid, going through what he went through and what he is now, and I'm proud of Ronald for keeping his head up and going on with life, because he's doing all his stuff right now for his big bro.
I knew he'd never want me to stop, like, doing what I'm doing. Like, he'd never want me to just keep my head hanging or, like, keep dwelling on what happened. Like, there's nothing I could do about that. It happened. We just keep going.
I think my son want to make his brother proud because the last thing they talked about is him playing football and making it. When Ronald do this on the field and he put one up, that's for his brother. Big reason why my son goes so hard for his brother and for himself.